All right, let's get one thing straight. You aren't tired because you stayed up late watching a documentary about guys building swimming pools in the jungle with a stick. You're drained because the modern American dream has officially pivoted from owning a suburban home with a white picket fence to simply being able to afford a sourdough starter and a subscription to a meditation app that screams at you to be calm. Welcome to the era of the silent burnout, where your soul feels like a MacBook charger that's been chewed on by a golden retriever. You wake up, and before your eyes even focus, you're already behind on 3 emails, 2 Slack threads, and a group chat about your cousin's gender reveal party for a dog. You're not sleepy, Brenda. You're being harvested for your data and your dopamine. Look at us. We live in a country where hustle culture is basically a state-mandated religion. If you aren't grinding while you sleep, are you even an American? We've reached a point where taking a nap feels like committing a federal crime. We've replaced actual personality traits with LinkedIn headlines. You see a guy at Starbucks staring into the middle distance like he's just witnessed a Victorian ghost, and you think, wow, he must be deep. No, he's just wondering if he can count his commute as a hobby. We're the only civilization that invented self-care as a multi-billion-dollar industry just to sell us back the sanity they stole from us during the 40-hour workweek, which, let's be honest, is actually 60 hours once you factor in the quick check of your phone at 11 p.m. The irony is thick enough to clog a deep fryer. We have appliances that talk to us, cars that park themselves, and refrigerators that tell us we're out of oat milk, yet we have less free time than a medieval peasant who died of a cold at age 24. At least that guy didn't have to worry about his personal brand or whether his Instagram story had the right color palette. We're out here trying to optimize every microsecond of our existence. You're at the gym listening to a podcast about productivity at 2x speed while tracking your heart rate on a watch that will eventually tell you you're stressed. Thanks, Siri. I didn't notice my jaw was clenched so hard I could crack a walnut. It's like we're all characters in a sitcom where the laugh track was replaced by the sound of a low battery notification. And don't get me started on the quiet quitting trend. The corporate world acted like people wanting to actually do the job they were hired for, and nothing else, was the start of the apocalypse. Oh no! Jenkins is only doing what's in his contract. Someone call HR and a priest. We've been conditioned to believe that if we aren't going above and beyond, we're failing. But above and beyond is just corporate speak for please do the work of 3 people for the price of 1.5, and here's a pizza party with the cheapest pepperoni known to man. You're not burned out because the work is hard. You're burned out because the work is meaningless. You're moving digital piles of dirt from one side of the screen to the other. Also, a guy in a fleece vest can buy a 3rd vacation home in the Hamptons. By the way, if you're enjoying this descent into the dark heart of the American psyche, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. It's the only thing in your life that's actually free and won't ask you to hop on a quick sync tomorrow morning. Join the club of people who realize the hamster wheel is powered by our own desperation. We're obsessed with the aesthetic of being busy. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor. Oh, I'm so slammed, we say, with a weirdly smug look on our faces. Being busy is the ultimate American status symbol. It means you're important. It means you're needed. But in reality, it just means you don't have time to realize how miserable you are. It's a collective hallucination. We're like a bunch of 18 trailers barreling down the I-95 with no brakes and a driver who's currently distracted by a TikTok of a cat playing the piano. We're terrified of silence. If we stop moving for 5 minutes, we might actually have to face the fact that we don't like our jobs, our apartments, or the fact that we spent $40 on avocado toast this morning. Think about the way we socialize now. Let's grab drinks. Translated from American English, means I will tentatively put you in my calendar for 3 months from now, and then I will text you an hour before to tell you I'm too tired because I spent the day staring at a spreadsheet that shouldn't exist. We're socially drained because every interaction feels like a transaction. Even our hobbies have become side hustles. You can't just enjoy knitting, you have to have an Etsy shop. You can't just go for a hike, you have to document the entire thing on Strava so everyone knows you burned 600 calories while looking at a tree. We've commodified our leisure time to the point where relaxing feels like another item on the to-do list. And the health solutions? They're the best part. You're feeling drained? Just buy this $90 candle that smells like serenity and unpaid bills. Or better yet, take this supplement made from the ground-up dreams of unpaid interns. We try to fix a systemic, cultural rot with individual consumerism. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a squirt gun filled with kombucha. You're not tired because you lack magnesium. You're tired because you're living in a society that treats human beings like lithium-ion batteries. Recharge them just enough to get through the next shift, then toss them when they stop holding a charge. We're the most connected generation in history, yet we're all isolated in our own little bubbles of anxiety. We're scrolling through the highlight reels of people we didn't even like in high school, wondering why our lives don't look like a filtered sunset in Malibu. We're comparing our behind-the-scenes footage with everyone else's theatrical trailer. It's a recipe for a permanent state of blah. You aren't failing at life. You're just playing a game where the rules change every time you get close to winning. The goalposts aren't just moving, they've been sold to a private equity firm and moved to a tax haven in the Caymans. So, what's the move? Do we all move to a farm in Vermont and start making artisanal goat cheese? Probably not. Most of us wouldn't last 2 days without high-speed internet and the ability to order Thai food at 2 a.m. The first step is just admitting it, admitting that the hustle is a scam, admitting that it's okay to not be productive for every waking second, admitting that your worth isn't tied to your output. We need to reclaim the art of doing absolutely nothing. And I don't mean scrolling while sitting down nothing. I mean staring at a wall until your brain starts to make up its own entertainment. You're drained because you're fighting a war on 100 different fronts. Your career, your social media presence, your fitness goals, your family's expectations, and you're doing it all while the cost of living is rising faster than the water level in a climate change documentary. It's exhausting, it's absurd, and it's perfectly normal to feel like you're one, as per my last email, away from running into the woods and living like a feral squirrel. So next time someone asks you how you are, don't say busy. Say, I'm currently navigating a late-stage capitalist fever dream, but I found a cool rock today. It's more honest. And honestly, it's the only way we're going to make it to the weekend without losing what's left of our minds. Now go put your phone on Do Not Disturb and pretend you don't exist for an hour. The world won't end, I promise. Unless, of course, the fridge realizes you're out of eggs and decides to start the robot uprising. In that case, you're on your own.